Yeah, here we go.
What?
What's up, man?
Oh. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too,
pretty
man.
good.
I'm freaking chilling. It's been a good week. Worked hard. Really improved on my workouts. Like, I'm impressed how much weight I can push,
Yeah,
on
dude.
bench. I used to think chest was like my weakest.
Right now, for me,
Muscle.
it's my legs, but I also haven't hit legs in like 3 or 4 months
But yeah,
because
you
of my
have an
ankle.
injury.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I've probably explained this already, but I broke my ankle. I broke the fibula and the malleolus, I think is what it's called. That like round bone on the outside of your ankle. Or actually it was the inside because the fibula is on the outside. And you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of editing and include the picture of my x-ray. It's actually pretty interesting. I like looking at x-rays, broken bones and shit like that. It's cool.
Okay. That's fantastic.
But yeah, we had a pretty good workout on what was it? Thursday? Friday?
I think it was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. We had a pretty good chest workout on Friday, and push more weight than we normally do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
I've been doing the 5x5s. That's why.
Nice.
5x5s. Drinking creatine too.
What do you mean by 5x5s?
Like 5x5s, like 5 sets for 5 reps.
Oh yeah.
Much weight you can do. I've been doing that workout plan for a while just to work on my strength because I felt like, I can do high reps and all that stuff, but I feel sometimes that I don't have enough strength to push.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to work on my strength and then I'll start working on like physique stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, physique is a lot more reps based than strength based, I would say, for sure. Mm-hmm. You can definitely have a bit of both. That's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah, that's what I want to.
Yeah, that's the direction I'm going, is a bit more strength. Well, a bit of both strength and physique. Luckily for me, I was genetically blessed to not put on fat very easily. Granted, I don't put on muscle very easily either, but after a lot of hard work and dedication, I've gained 30 pounds since I first started working out like a year and a half ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 247, and then I started eating a little cleaner, working out every day, and then just watching my intake, on the calories I take or what I eat, and drinking a lot of water too. That helps.
Yeah, water for sure.
I lost, what is it? I was 247, scaled myself about 3 days ago. It was 232, but I'm stuck there now.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, it's been like a couple days now, maybe like a week now.
What would you say? So, like, obviously, everyone talks about the mental health side of working out and things like that. What's your take on that? How has it affected you on the mental side working out?
Like how it improves me.
Yeah, how it improves you,
dude.
how you feel about yourself, whatever.
I love working out, dude. It's like the best thing. It's like the best antidepressant, dude.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree.
I mean, one, you're not just working yourself physically. It's also mental. It's a mental type of shit,
Yeah.
You're putting your work on there. You're taking out all your anger, any like emotional distress. But it doesn't even have to be that. It could also be like you're really trying to see who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
That's actually something I wrote down. The other day I was watching this video of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
Fucking GOAT. And then I was watching this video, and in this video it was showing how he missed a penalty shot, missed a shot to the goal. I know everyone knows Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a soccer player, famous Portugal player. Mm-hmm. And then, so it kept showing these shots that he kept missing. I showed 3 of them that he missed. And he was just like, every time he missed, he was just like in distress. Like, he was just like pissed, bro. Like, you can see it like in him,
Yeah.
That he was just like, what the fuck? I can't fucking score. And this is the part that got me. They were in that like last minute, like it's like do or die, bro.
Yeah.
You got to give it all you all. Like, you only have this amount of time, and if you don't finish it in this time, you're done. Mm-hmm. Bro comes up to the camera to grab some water. And then this is the funniest part that hit me. Like how he just drank water, and he looked down, and he looked at the camera, and he smiled, and he nodded like, hell yeah, I got this. And he like ran back into the game, fucking scored 2 goals within like 10 minutes, bro.
Nice.
And I was just like, and I wrote down here. I wrote down, if you put in the work, you'll know who the fuck you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you put in that work and you're having trouble doing something, whatever it is, like, if it's like a sports game, if it's like you lifting, or if it's like something you're trying to accomplish, and then you're like, fuck, dude, like, I'm really getting my ass kicked here. Like, what's going on with me? And there's a certain moment of all the fucking work you've done, all the training you've done, and it just comes to you. And it's like, wait a minute. I know who the fuck I am. And it's not cockiness. It's not fucking egotistic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like you're using the power of the fucking work you've done for this moment. Like, this is the moment you've been fucking working for. And I thought it was amazing how he showed that expression. And I like thought about it. I was like, fuck, dude, there's times in life where you're getting your ass kicked. And you got to sit back and be like, fuck, I'm better than this. I'm stronger than this, you know? Yeah. It's just like that type of mentality that a lot of people need to have sometimes. Like, I try to have it. You know, there's times where you're like lower than high or higher than, you know, like you're like in the emotional state of like, damn, I'm like fucking weak. I can't do this. What's going on with me? But sometimes you just need to fucking remember who the fuck you are. You know, it's important.
It's like, it's essentially like summoning a better version of yourself for the moment kind of thing. Like, it's, you're putting yourself in the zone. And that's like, actually in psychology, it's called the zone of proximal development. And so it's essentially like this perfect Goldilocks zone where it's just challenging yourself enough that you're still developing and getting better because of it. But it's also it's like right at the cusp of your skill level, the maximum amount of skill that you can put out while still challenging yourself. It's like this perfect zone. And that's just what being in the zone is.
Yeah.
And
I think it's beautiful.
That amazing feeling you get when you're in the zone, whatever you're doing, whether you're playing sports, whether you're playing some video games or something like that, where you're just like hitting all your shots, everything is going perfectly kind of thing. You can experience that in anything that you do, basically. And so that's like, and the only way you can really get to a point where you're in the zone and you can experience, because it's genuine euphoria. And all of those, it's dopamine, it's what's the other one that starts with an S? Serotonin. All of those things are going on at the same time, and it's genuinely developing you, essentially, at that skill. And you can't do that without putting in the work beforehand. You can't really experience that all that much without putting in some work beforehand and challenging yourself in such a way that you develop to a point where you do get somewhere where you can actually challenge yourself. That sounded really dumb because I said challenge yourself to the point where you're actually challenging yourself. But what I mean...
No, I get it.
Yeah, you gotta you're not going to really experience that, and it's not going to be nearly
so you
rewarding.
Risk yourself a little bit.
Yeah. So like you have to be putting in the work for a little bit before you can get to a point where being in the zone like that is actually A, going to happen, and B, going to be very rewarding because you put in all of this work beforehand that is now paying off in this moment in great ways for you.
Oh, I mean, in everything, like if you're, you know, I would like to think it's like, you know, I'm the dad, you know, if I'm a father one day, it's like, wait a minute, tired? Like, I got kids, I got family, I got people to take care of, bro. Like, it's like, watch me, I got this, I know who I am.
Yeah.
I brought this into life, I created this, you know, you gotta fucking, you know, have that mentality. You can't be a Debbie Downer, bro. Honestly, like, I feel like this is just like a little motivational video here, honestly, because I feel like right now I've been getting very motivated, getting back into the gym, cleaning. Everything's working out, but you also got to know when there's highs, there's also lows, and that's when the strength comes in. That's why, you know, you have your down times, your hard times. That's where you're building your strength, building yourself, getting to know yourself, the character of who you are. You know, a lot of people don't ever get to experience that, and I feel like it'll be a good thing to do. Like, put yourself in a risky situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, if it's either financially, emotionally, like, you know, sometimes you got to take those hits, take those risks.
One thing I like kind of realized is, and something that I think has helped me be more confident too, in my decision making is that I realized that I don't really have a whole lot to risk. Like, I don't have a kid, I don't have a wife, I don't have a family. Like, I have a good job, but like there's you get to a point in life, especially once you take on those types of responsibilities of a kid and a child and all of those things, that like taking risks is really risky. Like, the risk versus reward thing is just like so much higher on the risk side of things when you get to that point. But if I'm 24, you're 27, and we're both just, working hard at our jobs, but at the same time, to get to a level where we're making the kind of money that we want to make, or we're as strong as we want to be, like, you have to put things on the line.
Yeah.
And at the point where you have very little to risk, where if you do fail, it doesn't really mean all that much, because you started here, and when you fail, you only go back to here because you only have here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As a young man, and young woman, young person in general, when you don't have all that much to risk, it's more profitable, more rewarding to take those risks.
Right.
Because what you have to lose is next to nothing for the most part. Like, other than your life, don't risk your life on all that much if it's not that important.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you fucking go
absolutely.
kill yourself. Like.
No. Yeah. Like, but at the same time, like, you're not going to see a man with a wife and children snowboard down a mountain that has never been done before.
Oh, no.
Because he has, a wife and kids and all these other things. Like, but at the same time, a young person can do that, and the reward is probably just as great as for the older person with more responsibilities, but you didn't have to risk all that much. You know what I'm saying? It's so almost like an investment where you're not risking all that much, but you still get the same reward.
Okay. So just cautiously moving forward.
Yeah, cautiously moving forward, but also testing your limits at all times.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's kind of what I meant. Like, obviously, I'm not saying like go to fucking Vegas and pull your fucking savings.
Well, obviously, no,
you gotta risk it all.
Yeah, no, definitely don't do that. Yeah, gambling is not a good investment.
Hell no, dude.
Definitely.
Dude, you know when I quit gambling? The first time I went to a casino, got into a machine, put $20 in, hit one button, and said, "Thank you, come again." I was like, I'm done with this bullshit.
I quit gambling before I ever gambled. I was a valet at a casino, and I saw the types of people that were regulars, and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Dude, no. I used to be a valet too, and I used to work at a casino, and funny how you've done that before.
I think we've said that before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, the people that come in or be there, like, I would get off shift and then come back in the morning, they'd still be there.
Oh, my. They lived there.
Wild.
They lived there. They were getting their pension. They were, they were living off of however they were living. And it was usually older people that probably had a lot of money, but no people to spend it on. That's what it really ended up being,
sad, yeah.
Which is super depressing.
Yeah.
Super sad. And I was just like, yeah, casinos are not for me after seeing this. Because, like, I was driving their cars, too, all the time as a valet. It's like, the regulars at the casino, the people that were there all the time, were not in good places
in
their lives, unfortunately.
Hey, man, bless their souls. I hope the best for them. But
absolutely.
My guy, I would volunteer to wash your car. Like, we volunteered. We got to a point when we were like, hey.
Yeah, we weren't that nice.
We would like to. We're doing car washes right now because apparently I don't know how it worked or something. I might be wrong here, but they were having a car wash with valet, which was weird. It was random. So we were like offering, I guess, to make more money.
Yeah.
We're offering like, hey, can we give you also a car wash so when you come out you have a fresh, clean car? And then sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes they'll say no. Sometimes we'll like fucking force the regulars that would come in with fucking like decomposing
free car wash. Oh
bro.
My god, yeah, no, absolutely.
No, cigarette stains, grease stains.
That
it's
happened
like
all the time.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah.
We legit had like a car wash like detailer, like hardcore, and then these guys would be like, "Damn, bro." And I need, like, the car wash dealer said, I never thought there'd be a day where I'd have to fucking wash a car like this.
Yeah,
like every day. I know, like, I see it once in a while, but like for
people that need car washes but don't know they need car washes or just don't care enough to do it.
I just don't know how you can do that.
I don't either.
I wash my car once a week.
Oh, that's really good.
Or vacuum it.
Nice.
If I have time.
Yeah. I I have not had that kind of. I haven't made the time really is the problem. But I keep my car pretty clean. Like it doesn't. Nice. I don't really eat in my car because one thing I hate getting in my car and it smells like the food that I ate. I hate I love In-N-Out.
Right. Oh,
but if I get In-N-Out, my car is gonna smell like In-N-Out for a couple of days at least.
True.
You know.
You're not wrong.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
You know something funny though? Like that's one of the reasons why I wash my car all the time because I know my fat ass is gonna eat something in that car.
That's fair.
And like I like to just make sure it's clean, not dirty. And I hate when I park it like near the grass because the sprinklers turn on.
Oh
and
yeah.
It just gets that water.
You have a newer car too, so it's keeping it clean makes it feel like it's still new. My car is not.
And that's something about buying cars. Like people told me it's like, oh, make sure you buy something and you look back at it and be like, damn, like it's good.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about my car. It's not the best. It's a fucking Subaru.
No, it's a nice car.
And I think it's nice. I look at it. I'm like
2014, 2015?
It's 2018.
2018. Oh, wow.
So,
I don't look that closely at it, but yeah, it's a newer car.
Yeah, it's pretty new. It's it's a nice one. It's a Subaru Legacy. Beautiful car.
Great car.
I think it's amazing. But the only thing about it is that the front of the bumper, the paint is chipping off. So I was thinking about wrapping that thing.
Do you still have? Yeah, you could do that. That would actually.
I think that'd be cool,
dude. So I'm buying my. So I'm not getting the Z. The Nissan Z. I saw a markup from. I follow this guy in Sacramento. He organizes car meets and stuff on Instagram. His name is hard_park for those that are interested. He organizes car meets, and he posted on his Instagram a picture of one of the price tags for one of the new Nissan Zs, the Proto Z. Mind you, the MSRP for this car is $53,000. It's not bad. The markup was $42,000. So they're selling that car for $99,000 because there were a couple other taxes and markups and stuff like that. Yeah, the dealership is selling a $53,000 car for $99,000.
Why?
Because they can. Literally, if you look at the price tag, it was two different charges. They were each one of them was $2,999, and one of them was $10 or something like that. There were two little charges that were probably some tax or whatever, and then one charge, it was titled MVA, which I don't know for sure, but the only thing I can think of that standing for is market value added, which is just basically people would probably pay for this at this price. Okay. So let's make it this value, market value added, basically. That's what I think is happening. And it's just a markup for no reason other than they can, and people will buy it.
Is that why Ford is starting this new thing where you can buy from the factory?
Yeah, because, also, really, they want to make more money. They make not as much selling to dealerships because dealerships are not owned by the motor companies. They're owned by individuals. You and I could start dealerships.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But then we'll be owning to the bank.
Yeah, but I mean, we wouldn't owe to the bank necessarily. It would be our company.
Oh, yeah.
And we sell the car with a markup. And
for our profit.
For our profit, yeah. You have to register as a dealer. There's all kinds of different rules around it. But anyway, so Tesla basically started that, where you could buy straight from Tesla and they ship the car to you. Car shows up at your house, and you're paying Tesla, the company, for the car that they built, which is way more efficient. I don't understand why we have middlemen selling cars. Now, I do understand that this is probably going to impact the economy pretty negatively just because you're destroying an entire industry, which is used and just car dealerships. You're destroying an entire industry. Used car dealers will still be around, but the brand new dealerships, that's a pretty big portion of the economy that you're kind of just destroying, wiping out. But also at the same time, dealerships don't really add all that much. You're getting a warranty that takes you to the Ford dealership mechanic. Ford themselves could just have a mechanic. So there's just not really a good reason. I don't see a reason for there to be a dealership.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think it's dumb.
It's super dumb.
Or, if you want to do it smart, you can just, I don't know. If you want to buy the car straight from the factory, yeah, like you were saying, there's no reasons for dealerships.
Absolutely.
If it can be an online thing, that'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah. But anyway, we got on that topic. It's okay. I took it all the way over there. But yeah, I'm gonna buy my roommate's Toyota JZX90.
The one that he was working on?
No, that's a 240SX.
That's right.
He would not sell me that. That's a baby, and I don't blame him.
Those are rare.
They're not like super rare, but in his condition, yeah, they're pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
He actually got rear-ended. Kind of sucks.
Recently?
Recently. He got a little bit of a payout for it, so that's fine. But like, yeah, so the rear quarter panel is messed up. Kind of whack. But he put all of his money in the engine bay anyways, and that wasn't hurt at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was really just some body damage.
Mm-hmm.
So not the worst thing. But yeah, it's a nice car. It's a nice, like, it drives really nice. He built it for drifting.
Oh,
it's pretty sick. We'll have him on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, so I'm going to buy his Toyota JZX90, which has basically the little brother of the Toyota Supermotor.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty good motor. It's not turbocharged, so that's a little less cool. But it's really just, like, to get me to the point that I can buy a house because it's got 60,000 miles. It's a Toyota.
Yeah, it'll last forever.
It'll last forever.
Right.
It's kind of cool. It's right-hand drive.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Are those legal here?
Yeah, he imported it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he did register it, or he's about to register it. But yeah,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. My buddy just got a what is it? A fucking GTR. Like the old school. I think it's a
Skyline
32. I think. Yeah, it is a Skyline.
It is a Skyline.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
That is pretty nice.
Like I saw it. Like at first I was like, and then I was like,
That's a very expensive car.
it is very expensive. He's like, I should have just gotten a new car or something.
No, he shouldn't. I mean, if he feels that way, I'll buy it from him.
No, this is his baby right here. Like,
Exactly. That's a nice car. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think it's like sexy. I thought it was.
No, it is. It's a sexy car. Yeah, R32s are sick.
32.
Yeah, that's a 32. The 33 is cool.
R33.
That's an R33.
32 is a little more boxier,
Yeah,
more aggressive looking. But this one's still nice. I like this one. He did good shit. Shout out Brian.
Shout out Brian.
Yo, it's Brian on Instagram.
Nice. So after all of that 20 minutes of talking about all kinds of random stuff, actually, we can go back to the lifting and the mental health side of things, because I did want to talk on that a little bit. And so it was Ronaldo, right, that you were talking about? Yeah. Ronaldo. So what he was saying about
Goat.
You don't know who you are until you challenge yourself or you put in the work, right?
Until you remember who you are. Like all that work you've done, all that, like, let's say if it's like studying, if it's like building up to something that you're like trying to achieve in anything. It can be like in school, whatever, sports, like I said, work.
Yeah.
And then you're just getting like, you're getting down on yourself. They're like, why am I freaking out for this test? Why am I freaking out for this different job I'm stepping into? Why am I freaking out to this game that we're playing right now? Like, why isn't it, and then you kind of just like, you have that silent moment and you're just like, wait a minute. I know who the fuck I am. Like, that's how I see, that's how I was trying to like tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I totally understand what you're saying. Like, for me, that's why the gym has been so great also, is just because it's, like you said, reminded you who you are. And then for me, like, at the end of the day, no matter how bad the day went, no matter what's going on, whether or not, like, it's money issues or girl issues or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, I can still look in the mirror and be like, man, I put in a lot of work and I did that. Like, that's something that I did, and I'm more happy with how I look now. And then also, like, I understand how much work it took to do that. Because, I mean, the reason most people don't get in really good shape is because it's hard. And, there's a lot of other things that get in the way, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, stuff like that totally understandable. But if it's something you really want, you got to just, make the time for it.
Oh yeah. Like it's just, and there is time.
There is time.
There is
We
fucking
all have
time.
24 hours in a day.
There is fucking time. If you really want to change, if you really want something for yourself, you want to become something, there is fucking time.
And that's all it really takes. Like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to meet certain requirements for the most part to excel at pretty much anything that you want to excel at. Yeah. Obviously there might be some limitations depending on your situation. But the way if you are missing a leg or something like that, it's going to be harder to squat for sure. But absolutely. At the same time, I've seen people with one leg squat. So how badly do you want it, and are you willing to put in the work? That's really the question, because after you understand whether or not you're willing to put in the work, it's how long are you willing to put the work in for? Exactly. And it's a time game, really, at that point.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're telling me, like, bro, I'm not as busy, but still work 12 hours right after work, boom, gym. And I seen like a bunch of old people, and I'm pretty sure those motherfuckers are working hard, bro. People, I mean, and I know construction workers go there. And,
yeah.
I was like, there. Bro.
I work construction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you, bro. you're a fucking welder. That shit's hardcore, and they have to go to fucking work out.
Yeah.
Being exhausted, but maybe another hour or two, you fucking pump it out. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly,
that's some man shit right there.
Part of the reason I got into the gym in the first place is because I was studying welding, and it's construction. I mean, I'm flipping I-beams, so you have a big beam, an I-beam that you see in like skyscrapers or stuff like that, and you take a bar and you just pry it over essentially, and you roll the beam, and we're working with some pretty heavy beams.
Well, fuck yeah, I've seen your videos.
Yeah, we're working with some pretty heavy stuff. So like, it's a very physical job. You're carrying around tools across the shop back and forth that are really heavy, and you're doing that nonstop basically, aside from 2 10s and a 40-minute break, and just working all day for 9 hours. And that's like the typical shift. Monday through Thursday is 9 hours, and then Friday is
in the heat, bro.
In the heat. Like, it's like, I'm not saying this to complain. I don't like to complain about how hard
you're
work
not complaining,
is,
bro.
like
you're
that.
Talking about what you do.
Yeah, yes, I am talking about what I do. I don't like to talk about it as if I'm complaining, though, because like, I really do enjoy it. I enjoy the physical part of it. When I was sitting in the office because of breaking my ankle, I was so bored most of the time. I got back into podcasts really heavy, more audiobooks and stuff like that. Even when I was working in the shop before, I was still listening to audiobooks, but not as many podcasts.
You're an outside dog, huh?
Yeah, I like working in the shop,
Same.
Working with my hands. It's very satisfying.
And I do miss that.
Part of the reason I got into the gym was because I knew that this is what the job was going to be like, and I didn't want to be the scrawny kid that couldn't move shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They couldn't hang. And so I was just like, well, screw that. And so now I'm one of the guys that like people will go to if they need help moving something. Because obviously I work out. I'm working on it, stuff like that. And so like, it's cool. It's cool being able to be relied on for, physical stuff or whatever.
Absolutely. It feels good. It's rewarding.
It is. Like, it is. It's like, it's a little bit of a confidence booster in that, like,
it's a compliment.
People need me. We were talking about that last time. Yeah. Like, men need to feel needed.
Exactly.
It's really important for our mental health. And women too. But like I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman. I don't understand it fully, and I don't hear women talking about this all that often. So when I say men really need it, I'm not excluding women from needing it. I just want to be very clear about that. I don't understand the female experience as well as I understand the male experience, so I'm going to just stick to that. That's basically where I'm at with that.
No, yeah, dude. Like, shit feels good sometimes.
Yeah, no, it does. It
like,
really does.
I remember I used to work for like a old lady. I used to manage her ranch. Yeah, I guess you can say manage because I would take care of it the whole fucking time. But she'd be like, "You're a young, strong man." I'm like, "Fuck you, I fucking need you."
Yeah, I am.
I get paid shitty, but I fucking love your compliments. Those pay $100. I mean, it felt good when she would be like, "You're so strong," blah blah blah, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's nice, and like that actually, like, it's just nice to be complimented for your virtues, for the things that are good about you.
Yeah.
It's nice. Everyone needs compliments, really.
Absolutely.
And it's even more rewarding when it's because you put in the work to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like I was saying before about the gym, like last week, this one dude that I saw every now and then at the gym, when I was going to the one by Shields, when I was going to that crunch, I used to see him every now and then. He was really cool, really nice guy. And then I broke my ankle, hadn't seen him in months up until last week. And he just walks up to me while I'm doing, what was I doing? I think I was doing like lat pullovers where you like pull the bar like that for lats. And he just walks up to me. He's like, bro, you put on some mass. I was like, thanks, man. Yeah. And then I made a post about it afterwards and did some poses and shit. That was the day that I was posing on my Instagram. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to compete now. Because I also have a buddy of mine. Shout out Nico Talbot. He has a very similar build to me. And he's 6'2", similar, like his body fat, same. He actually has a diet coach though, so that he could get even more cut for the competition, which I would do when I decide to compete, because I do want to eventually. I want to hit legs a lot more though between now and then, just because I took 4 months off and it still hurts a lot if I push it too far. So working on getting that range of motion back up is my main goal right now before I compete. Because also I want my legs to look at least a bit more proportional. They're not tiny, but they're not as big as they should be, in my opinion, at least.
I feel it. Like I sometimes see like guys' legs at the gym, and I'm just like,
bro, you need
I was like, damn, bro. I'm not gonna lie, you can make me act up, No, but like,
oh, you're talking about the dudes that like are built
like no, like they at least have like not super fucking shredded where it's like this.
But you can see all of the muscles.
But you can see like they don't even have to flex. So you're able to see like their fucking horse legs, bro. And I'm just like, I'm trying to get there, bro.
Trying to get like you, my boy.
For real, no, for real.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, I think having strong legs is one of like the greatest advantages.
No, absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely. That's it's so big. And yeah, I'm just working on it right now. I did like
or shoulders, bro.
Yeah, shoulders.
I'm trying to get fucking
capped out shoulders. Mine aren't doing too bad. I need to do more shoulder press.
I'm trying to like walk sideways through the doorway, bro. It's like, excuse me.
You can do that. I believe in you. Well, see, if you're doing that, it's because you got big lats and you can't put your arms down.
I know, right?
It's just lat spreading everywhere.
Walk around, just bump into bigger guys. So, nah. I just want to have a good physique. That's my goal right there. I want to be able to perform. Like if I have to run away from a fucking lion or something, intruder, or protect myself. I want to be capable.
Yeah.
Of being flexible enough to like do certain moves or something, whatever. Absolutely. I also want to get into training again. There's a gym right here that I've been looking at. It's for like jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Muay Thai.
Oh, really?
That'd be fucking tits.
See, that's I was planning on going into Muay Thai, so I'm looking at some certain career options. First off, that might end up requiring me. This would also be like 6 months to a year out. But if I were to go in this direction, it would probably require me to be like traveling a lot, unfortunately, and living out of a hotel room. But I could be making some pretty good money and get a house as soon as possible. That's why I brought up the car actually too, is like instead of putting all that money towards a car with the car channel and stuff like that, because I still want to do that, still want to have a car channel and build something, but it's going to be much more profitable and responsible if I get a reliable car for as little as possible. Yeah, no, I got you. Same with that ginger beer. Get a car that's decent, reliable, get me A to B, and not have to worry about it all that much. And then rock that for long enough to get into a house. And ideally what I'd like to do is a fourplex and rent out the 3 rooms. And, basically that would just pay for the property itself, maybe a little bit of extra on top of that, continue working, and then get another property and just kind of do the same thing over and over again until I have enough passive income to either quit my job or start doing other stuff that may make me money, but I don't have to rely on it to make me money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to build up my investment portfolio to the point that it'll support my lifestyle without having to worry about all that much. You know, granted, if you have that kind of portfolio, there's a lot you have to worry about. But in terms of the time investment that you put towards it, like I can't invest in the podcast like I'd like to because I work 9 to 5 kind of thing. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm working with right now, is trying to limit the amount of time that I have to put in limit the amount of time for money equations in my life.
Okay.
And then get to the point where, you know, results are what brings in the money. That's the position that you need to get to really make good money.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Just because we don't have enough time. We all only have 24 hours. You're not making millions of dollars working 9 to 5. Even especially because you get taxed out the ass.
Oh yeah. It's not even fair.
When you have a business and investments and things like that, you can avoid taxes in ways just by paying. And it's for good reason, because for the most part, you're creating jobs, you're supporting the economy with the business that you run, you know? And so that's why there are tax incentives in the first place, is because the government wants you to do certain things. So to do those things, they'll give you a tax break. That's basically why tax breaks exist, is to encourage business owners to do businesses that serve some purpose that the government can't or doesn't want to serve.
Okay.
That's basically why taxes exist in the first place. And because the government wants to make a bunch of money, but they make all that money from, 9 to 5 workers like you and me, not from businesses. That's why Donald Trump doesn't pay anything in taxes.
He's smart.
It's because he's smart, and he's using the loopholes that are put in place by the government themselves. It's not cheating. It's just how the system works.
And him being smart about it. And
him playing his cards right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, that's why in the very beginning when he was like, yeah, my father gave me a small loan of $1 million, everyone was like, small loan, what the hell? Compared to how much money he's made in the economy and put into the economy, $1 million is nothing. He's made billions of dollars. He has handled billions of dollars in his lifetime. So it's just, that really isn't all that much.
People would complain about that. It's like, $1 million, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what would you do with $1 million, huh?
Yeah, most people don't know what to do with $1 million.
What would you do? Like,
I'm not saying I would be the best person with $1 million either.
I think
I would definitely be better than some.
It's all good.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I'm just saying how
what you would do with $1 million?
No. I'm saying like once people waste it, they'll figure out that wasn't enough.
Oh yeah.
Then it'll be like, a small loan. That is small. If you realize, if you for real think about it,
$1 million is not a lot of money.
It's not anymore. Really I know people say like, I'll get my life. Would you?
It's really not. There are people making.
I know I'd fucking blow it on some bullshit too.
There are so many people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
That's insane.
Right?
That's not fair, bro.
That's what it seems like.
What do you do?
They put in the work is what they do, and they put it in intelligently.
Yeah.
You can't, hard work isn't the only answer. It
Playing
pays,
it smart.
It pays a lot better to work smart in addition to work hard. But if you had to choose one or the other, working smart is going to pay you a lot better than just working hard.
Okay.
But ideally, you do a bit of both.
Oh, absolutely. You got to know how to and also cheat your way through. I'm sorry. When people say don't cheat, bro, come on.
How are you cheating though? What do you consider cheating? Because a lot of people consider certain things cheating that aren't really cheating. It's just like
screwing someone over just for your gain.
Okay, don't do that.
But a lot of people do that.
A lot of people do that.
That's why they're rich.
They suck. Not necessarily. It doesn't work out in the long run for those people, because if you mess with somebody's money, they will come after you.
You don't think there's been
No, I know that there has.
Okay.
And that's not the point of what I'm trying to make.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying.
It's not a good long-term strategy is what I'm saying.
I just think it's scary, too, to have too much money.
Well, yeah, because
You don't think
money buys power in a lot of ways.
It's scary because
Yeah. And power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. I understand where you're coming from. Money gives a lot of people power, and a lot of people should not have power. Most, if not anyone, should have a lot of power. There are some people that do better things with their power than others. Some people that are more principled and disciplined and able to stick to their convictions than others, despite the temptations that come with having certain amounts of power, certain amounts of money, things like that. So there are some people that have developed themselves, because most people aren't born that way. Some people that have developed themselves to the point of being able to resist all of those negative temptations of what to do with their power or money. However, the Bible says the devil walks around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. And that's very, very true. There are always going to be temptations. You're always going to be tested by your desires, your temptations, the things that you want to do but know you shouldn't do. That is always going to be in your life.
Okay.
That's it. You can't get rid of it. Some people are better at handling it than others.
Right. And that's facts. Bro, I get a little bit of money and I start acting stupid. Just kidding. No, I don't.
I've been there.
I mean, I know. I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
I remember I had a good amount of money in my savings, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like,
I can afford this. I can afford this. I can
I've never
afford
had
this.
this much money here. Like, I should really pay off some debt. Fuck no, dude.
Yeah, it's really, I've gotten a lot better in the last year. Really, in the last 6 months is where I've seen the most growth within myself in terms of handling my money properly. Because it's so important, and especially now when there's just so much to spend money on that you have to be even more disciplined with, am I spending my money correctly? Am I on top of my responsibilities, my debts, my things that I need to take care of before doing the things that you want? And then also is spending my money in this way versus that way going to be beneficial? Because there's an opportunity cost as well. It's like, oh, I could spend my money on this thing that I want or this thing that I want. And if I spend, for example, like I was talking about with the car, I could buy the car. I could do the Z. I could do the build, the YouTube channel for that. I could do all of those things. But if I do the Z, the new car, before the house, that puts off buying a house for another 2 to 3 years because I'm not going to have enough money for that. However, if I buy the house first instead of the car, maybe I'll have the car also in 2 to 3 years. But if I buy the car now, that's going to put the house 2 years further away, 2 to 3 years further away than it already is. And you have to, this is kind of what I was talking about in my Time Paradigm Car Talks thing. I don't know if you watched that one. But I was just talking about like, and my dad actually sent me, it was an audiobook, like a really short audiobook on YouTube. It was an hour long. Pretty easy to listen to. Let me actually look it up so I can reference it. But the point of the video was describing how to look at the dimensions of space and time and to try and pull yourself out of looking at time as so separate from being one of the three dimensions of length, width, and height. And so the way I visualize it, essentially, and I wasn't even looking for that video.
I was in an audiobook too. That's funny. Like an hour one. An hour 2 one. It was good. It was really good.
What was it?
It was just talking about the human being that you have become. Basically, like I feel like a lot of men have been made into, you know how like a dog has been domesticated to, like a wolf hasn't been domesticated to become a dog, you know, and that's what dogs are, you know, and like, but their roots are wolves. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like men, I feel like men were these like beast savages back in the day, like back in the day when like our beginning, you know, we were hunters.
Yeah.
killers. We were like
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
Like, I feel men today have been domesticated to work office jobs, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like just like like in a box, everything's technology, everything's but a touch of a finger. Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we've been domesticated as men over time to the point where like we're too domesticated. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's even a word.
No, but absolutely.
Like,
and
you know what I'm saying? Like a dog.
I think we are in a lot of ways. And that's kind of where we get into men's mental health being a lot of gym and accomplishment motivated things, is because that's what, like, real life back before we had all of these modern conveniences that protect us, give us security and things like that. Real life was hard. Like, you could die every single day just trying to get food on the table. And yeah, you can now, but it's in so much more, like, we have baby-proofed the world in a lot of ways that have made life easier for us, allowed for the population to grow as it has, allowed for technology to progress. I'm not saying that the safety and security that we have or technology is necessarily bad. However, we have to be aware of the consequences it has on us as a species, essentially. Like, what are the real, instead of looking at things as what they can provide for us, how is this going to affect us long term?
Right.
Because we have almost, in some ways, stopped the evolutionary process from happening the way it used to.
I believe
in terms of, you know, like, if you had a child that was autistic or had certain mental health defects, they would probably have died off pretty early just because they couldn't have fended for themselves. They couldn't have survived. And that's what life took, kind of thing. And I'm in no way promoting like eugenics or anything like that, where we get rid of them, because Hitler did that. He actually did go after anyone that was imperfect, impure, as he called it, had certain things. I think he went after the gays as well. Like, everyone. He went after everyone that
That's
wasn't
insane.
white, blonde hair, blue eyes kind of thing.
He had black hair, though.
Yeah, I've noticed that. And I was like, I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, so like, the world that we live in today is so safe. We have to be very careful that we don't make it too safe, that we at the very least encourage people to, you know, do things that are kind of in tune with who we are biologically, like going to the gym, taking on challenges, all of these different things, because that's part of why, like, we have a lot of mental health issues too, is just because real life isn't challenging enough, and the human body was made to survive.
Yes.
The human brain was made to keep you alive, not to keep you happy.
I've been saying that for the longest time. Like, I feel like people that are depressed, I mean, not everyone, you know, I understand everyone has their own reason to be depressed, but
there are, like, depression runs in families and stuff like that too.
You're locked in your room, not doing anything, eating Cheetos, eating shit food on the screen for more than 12 hours, scrolling to TikTok, like, just fucking enclosed in your room, no sunlight. How are you not going to be fucking depressed?
Honestly, a lot of people are depressed. They think they're depressed because life is hard. But in reality, for a lot of them, not everyone, for a lot of them, it's because their life isn't hard enough. They have not had to struggle and overcome challenges that have built them into people that can be more resilient to the challenges that life itself brings, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, life was a lot harder just to get by.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so our brain was designed to keep us alive. Now, if our brain is designed to keep us alive, it is very sensitive to anything that might be dangerous for us. And life is so easy at this point that it looks for anything that could be dangerous to us. And it overloads you with all of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you mean. I also believe that, let's say you and I and a selective other few people were developed in a tougher situation. You know, tougher. What do you call that? Just like life.
Yeah.
Like you and I had different life, but we're
Dealt bad hands, dealt different cards. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the generation that's coming is being alive during they're alive during the easy times. Like we had to go through all the struggles of getting into this moment.
Yeah.
Oh, like you can order food from your phone. Your Wi-Fi needs to be really good. AC needs to be in a good circumstance for you because that's how you were raised. That's how you were born. You were born into this easy world that your parents build along the way. So when someone is like, I believe that the reason why some people are so sensitive and so weak is because of the same thing you say. They weren't put in that situation, or they haven't dealt with difficult situations to be evolved into the person they really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. I really do. And it's actually psychologically proven that, so like if someone has severe phobias that like are debilitating, like agoraphobia is basically you go outside and you're terrified that like anything and everything will kill you. And that's usually, for the most part, that is kind of true. It's like, it's kind of amazing that everyone doesn't have severe crippling anxiety because there are so many things that are dangerous and can and will kill you. However, the best way for those people to overcome that fear isn't necessarily by getting rid of the fear. It's by proving to them that they are capable despite the fear. You build and encourage bravery and courage into them. And so, for example, if someone's terrified of elevators,
Bro,
one of the ways that, like, to the point that they cannot look at or get on an elevator, like nothing.
it's a little tough for me sometimes.
I understand. I get it.
Like in Vegas,
A little sketchy.
like I'm not even kidding.
Elevators are kind of scary.
Bro, we were on the 11th floor. Let me tell you a little story real quick. Sorry. Every time I get on, I imagine the elevator either stopping, falling, or right when I'm about to exit, it was gonna just like cut me in half. Like the only way I was able to get on this elevator and not think about it was when I was like a little bit tipsy. And I would purposely get a little tipsy just so I won't have those thoughts once I get back to the hotel. Just because of that fucking reason. I'm sorry. I know it sounds like a pussy, whatever.
No, it's okay. And so basically what I'm trying to explain, though, is exposure therapy.
Okay.
The way you get people to stop being so afraid of certain things is by exposing them to it. And you're not necessarily eliminating the fear in that sense. You're proving to them that they can do it. They can deal with it, and they will get through it.
Okay.
And it reduces their anxiety and their depression because they were able to do that thing. And now also because of that, other areas of their lives are usually also improved. Like they'll take more risks financially. They'll take more because they're like, well, how bad could this be? I got on the elevator. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like they compare themselves. They conquer themselves, their fears, all of these things. So they're like, well, I conquered that. How bad could this be? And that's how everything in our lives really is. I mean, like little kids learn how to crawl and walk and do all of these other things by doing it, failing, doing it again, failing, doing it again. Like people are really good at accomplishing things. It's almost, we're built to do it. We're built to just do it. That's why Nike, that slogan is so great and has been so successful, is because that's what people are built to do. They're built to just do things, learn from it, get the experience, and improve. That's kind of what we're built to do. And for various reasons, because it's what makes us attractive to other people, whether it's a relationship or a friendship or a business relationship, like relationships of all kinds, makes the people that have accomplished things are naturally attractive to all of us.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? It is an attractive
Exactly.
trait to have.
Exactly. And you can start with the smallest of things before you really get to the bigger things that make people more attractive. Like if you struggle with making your bed every day, that's an accomplishment. If that's your struggle, everyone has their own struggles. Like whether you're skinny trying to get big or big trying to get skinny, whether you eat too much or eat too little. We all have our own struggles that we need to get to. And if it's keeping your room clean, whatever it is, accomplishing the struggle that you have to deal with is going to make you stronger for the other struggles that you have to deal with in the future, because you are always going to struggle with something, because that's just how life is. Life is not a walk in the park, as we all know. So accomplishing something, no matter how small, will help prepare you for the next accomplishment that might be slightly bigger. And that's how, once again, we get back into the zone of proximal development.
Yep.
Is by accomplishing one thing, and then another thing that's a little bit bigger, and then another thing that's a little bit bigger, and another thing that will just gradually build upon you as a person to the point that you can accomplish amazing things.
Yeah. That's fucking true.
We're getting real philosophical, and encouraging with this today.
I mean, this is speaking wisdom to me. You know, I love listening to people that just have that.
This
mentality, you know,
I pretty much always listen to this type of stuff all the time. It's just like
that really makes you think.
Understanding how to exist, basically.
No, yeah.
I got really into Jordan Peterson for a while.
Dude, just like Andrew Tate. I mean,
yeah,
dude, they
Andrew
canceled
Tate
his
too.
ass, bro.
I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. Honestly, like, yeah, he says some really outlandish stuff. I don't agree with absolutely everything that he says.
He looks so sad in his fucking last fucking podcast. Look like
I didn't see it. I need to watch it.
Oh my god, it was good.
I've actually never watched his podcast. I've always seen him on other people's podcasts, like Fresh and Fit and all that. I actually watched the one with Tom Segura and his wife. You know who Tom Segura is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
The comedian. Yeah, Andrew Tate was on Tom Segura's podcast. That was a great podcast. Tom Segura's. It was either Tom Segura or his wife. No, it was Tom. He like did a spit take basically when Andrew said something. And Andrew's hilarious. Honestly, I know for a fact that like 70% of what he says at least is just to get reactions, just to be inflammatory, just to be funny.
Just like Trump.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. I would say Andrew Tate even more so, for sure, because there's no way he would ever be able to make it into the presidency. I mean, he got canceled before.
Oh, I know, bro. It's hella sad.
It's crazy. But
it says a lot, though.
No, it does. And like, it's what's really crazy, like on a more serious note, because, you know, Andrew Tate's funny. He's kind of a caricature of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But on a serious note, it's really sad because like we've had all of this hyper feminist, like anti-male, anti-masculine, all of these different really like, you know, very super left-wing stuff where they're canceling everyone that says anything that isn't in agreement with whatever feminism is pushing or whatever the LGBT movement is pushing, with no contest whatsoever. And the people on the right, men, just people on more traditional values, finally get someone that's big and, you know, promoting all of these things, especially like men's health. And like people that hate Andrew Tate haven't actually like listened to a whole podcast with Andrew Tate.
I believe it.
They all just see the clips of the most inflammatory stuff, which is
on Instagram or like
that's
TikTok.
kind of the point that he was just trying to get out there so that the people that had more inquisitive minds would look into what he's saying and take a more mature viewpoint instead of just reaction porn to all of this crazy stuff that he said. Because he did say a lot of crazy stuff that, well, to people like me and you, probably not all that crazy.
Right.
Because we already had more traditional and right wing and red pill kind of values, mentalities. So for us, it wasn't all that crazy what he was saying. It was just like, no, yeah, he's spitting facts for the most part. Like, However, I know that like us and our mentality and people like us are not the norm, and we're probably like 20 to 30% of the population in terms of just mindset and where we're at in terms of, because we're more traditional, at least of people our age.
Right.
We're a bit more traditional. We're a bit more right leaning. We're all of those different things. And that's kind of what Andrew Tate gravitates to. We're also men working on ourselves to become better men.
That's
like, and that actually decreases it even more.
Because I mean, yeah.
So like, there's not a lot of people that really understand what he's trying to say or aren't just so shocked at hearing these things that they've never heard before. You know, that it's not an immediate emotional reaction of no, this can't be.
Right.
And the fact that men haven't had a voice really in the mainstream media like Andrew Tate, and the moment he comes out, like a lot of people didn't really know who Andrew Tate was even a month ago. Most people didn't know who he was even a month ago.
Oh, I know. Like
I heard about him maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah, when he started getting
actually right when I broke my ankle was when I found Andrew Tate, or no, Fresh and Fit, and then Andrew Tate.
Yeah, because I think Instagram started posting him a lot. Then TikTok started posting. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yep, he took over TikTok, dude. Everything was Andrew Tate.
Like at the beginning and the end, bro.
Yeah, he's still on there every now and then, but like, yeah, for the most part, Andrew Tate is just off of all social media. He didn't have his own TikTok. He never once had his own TikTok.
He never did. No, he never did. I think it was
everyone was posting him.
People were posting.
Everyone was posting him.
People were taking clips from other. Like, you know, like you were saying, the little clips that showed like a lot of fucking disruption for
all
a lot of people.
Inflammatory stuff. And within the inflammatory stuff was a little grain of truth. In everything that he was talking about was a little grain of truth. And what you had to do, what I think he was really trying to do was encourage more people to explore that little grain of truth. But of course, as with all things on the far left and on people that are like super hyper progressive and that don't see a problem with cancel culture, all of that stuff, those types of people didn't give a damn what the grain of truth was. They were just like, get this guy out of here. He's spitting too many facts. Yeah.
It's scary though, how they can just do that.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Very scary.
I mean, it's like, you know,
you're being isolated in a social way.
I've always been kind of raised with a bit more of
which is not a big deal.
No, it's not. I mean, no, it is. Actually, being isolated is a huge deal. But I've always been kind of raised on the more like conservative, not necessarily conservative, but conservative compared to most people in the mainstream.
Hispanic, so
yeah,
you know how that is.
Yeah,
it's like
Catholic
hardcore. You know,
yeah, like, no, I know. My family is very Bible thumping Christian, all of that. And then, so like a lot of what he said, like I was saying, was pretty normal to me. Like I understood where he was coming from. Also, my stepdad was very masculine, to a scary point. Cause I was raised by my grandma and my mom up until I was 4th grade. Okay. And then my mom and my stepdad got married, and just such a big change. That's good. And yeah, it was great. It was terrifying. I did not understand what it was or why he was so angry all the time. He wasn't really angry. Like he wasn't abusive or anything like that. Like I don't want to paint this horrible picture of my stepdad, but it was just like
just beat the shit out of him.
No, he was just like really masculine, and I didn't have very many super like hyper masculine, almost Andrew Tate level men in my life really at all. And so seeing that was really interesting. And looking back to see that is really interesting. At the time, I did not understand any of it. I was like, why is he so mean? He was really mean because he saw that I was a pussy. I was a pussy back then. I have no issue admitting that. Like back in fucking middle school, high school, I was a bit of a pussy. Dude, I would beat myself up.
All right, I wouldn't go that far, but
no, I wouldn't beat myself up, but I would be like, "Yo, you need to shape up, bro." Like
you pep talk yourself.
Yeah, I would pep talk I would definitely pep talk myself.
I was always more of a chill, fucking.
I was always very chill too.
Like
but I was a pussy. I was chill because I was a pussy. And I didn't want confrontation.
I would have scared of confrontation in a different way. Kind of like people would be like, "You're a fucking pussy," and I'm like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. Like, what do you want me to do?
I had that air of confidence as well. Like, there was this one dude there was this guy at high school. He sat behind me in my class after lunch. But at lunch, when we were walking back from lunch, actually, it was around Halloween. I was wearing this, like, stupid Halloween mask that one of my friends brought. And it was like, I was just being stupid. It was a little high school. Like, you know, I was wearing the mask and just walking around because I thought it was funny. And dude behind me, who also sits behind me in my next class, was like, "Bro, Lemac, you're such a fucking GDI? And I was like, what is a GDI? And he wouldn't say anything for like up until we got into class. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what that means. So I'm not really offended. Like, obviously it's probably not a good thing because dude was an asshole. He was a bit of a douche. So I didn't really have a very high opinion of him in the first place. And then he said that, and I was like, your words don't do anything to me because I don't even know what that means. You don't want to explain it, which tells me you're kind of a pussy. So I'm really not going to put much thought into that. And so I, again, asked him later in class, and he was like, oh, it means goddamn idiot. I was like, okay. Wow, dude.
Probably had a crush on you. That sounds like a flirty, like,
yeah,
like, fuck you, you know? Like,
yeah, a little bit, I guess.
Just kidding.
But yeah, that's something that stuck out to me. And I was just like, okay, whatever. But that's so like, I understand where you're coming from with the whole, like, I was just chill, like, whatever. I'm not really involved or interested in getting into a conflict. I had that same thing. But also, if I found myself in a situation where there was an actual conflict and I've never been in a fight, but if I were to have found myself in a fight, I probably would have been a pussy about it. That's just my perception of myself back then.
Bro, see, I don't want to get to that situation.
Yeah, I don't want to get in that situation, but
because I've been in a couple like rumbles, more like a jump. I got jumped twice, but
damn.
like I know it's
why?
kind of fucked up.
Who jumped you?
Some fucking dude. I don't know.
Did
why.
you know him?
No, it was
just some guy ran up and jumped you.
It was my friend from work, my coworker. He invited me over to his house.
Okay.
There was more coworkers there,
mm-hmm.
and then his cousin was there. His cousin, I'm pretty sure he was like on drugs or something. Like he might have been coked out, for sure. Basically, I was like, I knew the girl coworkers, so I was talking to them, making them laugh and everything. Okay, cool. Went to grab another drink, and I'm like, there was nothing but hard mics. And then this guy got very fucking offended. I was like I opened the fridge. My friend was like, yeah, go ahead and grab whatever you want. So I opened the fridge. I'm like, oh, there's no more beer. Like there's nothing but like Bits drinks. And then motherfucking dude was holding a hards mic when I said that. He got very offended for no reason. And then he's like, what'd you mean Bits drinks? I'm like, oh yeah, the hard mics. They're for girls, And then he's like, you call me a fucking bitch? And I'm just like, oh fuck. I'm like,
I mean, was I?
And I was deliberately? Just like, I was like, oh no, dude, like relax. I'm talking about the drinks, not you. Okay, like get over it.
Chill
and then
out.
That's
like
what I said.
I drink hard mics.
Me
They're
too.
Good. They taste good. But if you drink hard mics, you have to understand that like it's not whiskey. There's something to if you drink a glass of whiskey, that's a man's drink.
Well, the only reason why I called them like that is because the girls were calling it like that.
Oh,
they kept saying like, "Oh, these are bitch drinks. These are bitch drinks," and I was like, "Okay, I guess." That's
okay.
What
so he just felt demeaned by the girls calling them bitch drinks, and then when you did it too, he was like, "Well, I can't fight the girls, but I can fight you." That's basically what that means to me.
I think that's what happened.
That's probably he's a bitch.
So this is what happened.
So that's probably why they called them bitch drinks, is because they knew women can sense that shit. They can sense if you're.
You think so?
Well, smart women can.
But this guy, like, he was like super like fucking tatted and like bulky and shit, whatever, like looking all strong. And I was like, fuck, I was like 20 at the time.
It's a cover. It was a cover. Him being bulked and tatted.
I was like
he's
19.
covering for his bitchness.
I was 19 or 20. I don't even know. I was youngin'. I was tiny, And then I wrote like we were playing pool. And we beat him. My friend and I beat him and his friend.
So he is a bitch.
He got even more mad. And we're like, hey, we fucking won. Like, what's up? And then he's like, oh, fuck you. What you mean? You trying to go right now?
Bro was in his head the entire time.
And I was like,
oh my God. He had something to prove.
I was like, chill out, dude. Like, we're just fucking playing pool. Like, we're just playing pool. And then, like, he just grabbed me by the throat.
Oh, shit.
Put me up against the wall. His homie on your side started wailing me on the side of the ribs.
What?
Finally pushed him
Had his
off.
homie get on? Bro, he's big and he had his homie?
Bro.
Bruh,
and then like I pushed it. I got lucky. I went like basically like this, his arm, and then kind of went like under and rolled under the pool table to the other side. And I'm like, I grabbed the balls, and I'm like, what, like, what's up? Like, I was fucking heated. And my friend's like, no, chill. Should have
suplexed.
And then like I was closer to the door, so it was like we were here, and I rolled under, and I grabbed the balls, and I was standing right here next to the door. And then it was like in that like area, and then my friend's like, come on. Like, he walked me out, dropped the balls, and then I was like fucking pissed. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Why did your cousin do that? Like, why is he tripping out? Like, what did I do to him? I don't even fucking know the guy. And he's like,
he was on coke.
the guy, yeah.
Okay, that also makes sense.
Not
that makes
me.
a lot of
Not
sense.
me.
No,
No, fuck no,
I
I
knew
don't-
you weren't on coke.
I don't do drugs.
When you started the story, you said the cousin was on coke. I didn't realize it was the cousin that was trying to fuck with you.
Oh yeah.
He
was
I didn't
coked out.
realize. Yeah,
No,
that
no,
makes
no.
sense. That makes a lot more sense too.
Facts. And then his homie walked out because like I was like, okay. So first I went outside. I'm like, fuck, I don't have my keys or phone.
Probably did roids too.
I don't even know.
If he's big like that, like a lot of
Fucking micro penis.
lot of dudes that are hopped up on test, especially if they're not actually bodybuilders. And most bodybuilders I've noticed also don't have a lot of tattoos,
He has a micro penis.
probably. But also like the fact that
I just wanted to say that.
he's big, was on test, or had tattoos, was on coke, he might have also been on test, and that also makes you way more aggro.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think he was like a boxer or something, whatever. But
Oh yeah, this dude has just got problems.
yeah,
Just
I'm
got
sure he
problems.
does.
He's got all kinds of problems.
So apparently, second thing happens. So I go back inside to grab my keys and phone, and then I'm like, "Hey, bro, I just need my keys and phone." He's like, "Oh, you want some more? You want some more?" And I was like, "Bro, chill the fuck
I
out.
want my keys and phone,
I
bro.
want my keys and phone. Like, let me just grab them and head out." And so I walk out, and he follows me after I leave. And he's like, "Come on, I'm gonna fuck you up." And I'm just like, I'm not trying to fight you, and I don't know why you want to fight me. Like, what is your deal, my guy?" He's like, "No, fuck you, disrespect me." I was like, "Get the hell out of here, bro. I didn't say shit about you." And he's like, "Oh, why are you talking to me like that?" I was like, I'm standing my
Why
ground
am I
here."
talking to you like that? You came at me, bro.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
I was like, this guy's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And his
a little
homie.
bit.
So I'm like, I finally got my keys and phone, went to my car. I was driving my mom's car at the time. Got in my car, sat there for a little while. And then the guy, his friend, came out because he was leaving too. And he's all like talking to me. He's like, "Hey, you good, bro?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, like, hey, sorry I had to do that to you. You know, that's my homie since high school, so I had to back him up." And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck." And he's like, "Oh, dude, come on, don't be like that." I was like, "No, bro, fuck that. Like, why am I even talking to you right now?" And he's all like,
Bro, that's your homie from high school. You need to ditch that homie.
"No, dude, like this guy, like he tried to be nice with me." He's like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's
Yeah,
like,
because he saw you were a decent guy.
I don't know, like,
Or at the very least, he saw that his friend was in the wrong.
but he kept following me though. I drove home and he was driving behind me. He wouldn't stop following me. So what I did is stopped at a gas station, pretended to put gas, saw that he was actually putting gas. So when I saw that he started putting gas, I jumped in my car and fucking dipped, took the long wing home. I was like, I'm not letting this guy know where I live.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck that.
Fuck that guy. That guy was a fucking idiot. I don't know. Sorry.
That's crazy. That's wild.
That guy was so fucking insecure.
Yeah,
about something.
extremely insecure. Yeah, he probably had a micro penis, like you were saying. Yeah, he was insecure about something. Probably that micro penis.
I don't know, man.
Or he's just an idiot.
I just don't
and
like when people
he's-
get all rowdy when they drink. It's like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
it's just like, I don't know. I always think about that, or like listen to songs that talks about like we just fucking, I don't know. There's some songs that says that we just fucking did a clip on your fucking boy. I didn't care if his mom was there. I still shot up. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Jeez, bro. It's not that serious.
Damn.
Whatever he did to you, probably not that serious.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't
That's
know.
wild.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened
There's
to
some
me.
very violent and disagreeable people out there.
I don't know why.
Yeah, dude's a dick.
Yeah.
For no reason. For no reason. Super insecure. That's crazy.
The weird part is that we went to the same gym.
Really?
It's just
He
awkward.
ever said anything to you ever again after
He
that?
just like dogged me down. I had homies. They found out about it. They're like, "No, let's go fucking talk to him. Let's go fucking like say what's up." They don't fuck with him. I was like, "Nah, dude, just don't. Like, who fucking cares?"
Shit, I just kicked the camera. I hope it's still.
I don't know. That was funny.
That is funny.
I
I mean,
never-
it is funny because you didn't get hurt and no one actually got hurt.
No.
But that's ridiculous. This dude's crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Idiot.
What the hell? Yeah, I've never been in a fight like that, or at all. Never been in a situation. I've just always been pretty chill and agreeable and not really had to get in a fight with anyone?
I'm very social, so I think that I get like that. Like I start talking to people, we start talking, chatting it up. I tend to get very chatty when I drink, and then
Same.
get very chatty when I drink. So I'm like socializing, making people laugh, blah blah blah, having a great time. Not thinking about like, oh, what if this person has a boyfriend, or what if this guy right here?
Yeah, I got very positive vibes to everyone and for everyone, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and then it's like why, maybe I make a guy feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I say something that doesn't really follow with him, or
yeah,
I don't know, he doesn't really vibe with me or some shit. Like, oh my bad, dog.
This guy's being too friendly.
Yeah, this guy's a little weird, little sus. No, but I would never do that. Like I always, I don't know. I'm
always friendly to everybody.
No matter what. I was talking about too last time. I was talking to like some of my coworkers. I'm like, why is it weird for me to tell a girl like, hey, let's go grab a drink? No, why is that not weird? But why is it weird asking other guys to go grab a drink?
It's not weird.
I feel like a lot of people think it's weird.
You don't work in a trade. If you work with my coworkers, that's pretty much all they do after work.
No, I mean like we still grab drinks and shit. But okay. The thing is like, if I were to go up to a guy
kind of thing,
yeah, I'm like, hey, bro, you trying to hang out? And they'll be like, who the fuck are you? But if I go up to a girl and I'm like, hey, what's up? You want to go out and have a drink? She'll be like, oh, okay. You don't think so?
I mean, you need to like be friends with the guy, I guess, beforehand. But like a random guy, I could see him being like,
yeah, I'm just saying,
what the hell
like,
are you talking about?
You start chatting it up, you have a great time. You're like, oh,
yeah,
this guy's fucking cool.
In that situation, it's not weird.
It's
if you're walking up to a random guy, he might think you're like trying to game on him or something like that. Like, what do you mean grab a drink, bro? I don't know you.
I got to pee so bad.
Go pee. I'll entertain. I actually have to pee too. I'm just holding it. Shit. Anyways, guys. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that time paradigm thing. Yeah, so that book, actually, I did find out what the name of that book was. It was called Out of This World by Neville Goddard. It's hour long, 55 minutes, I think is what it was. It was really interesting, but it was just kind of reframing how you think about time. Basically, the way I see it is time is a bit of time. You try and think about time the same way you do space, like length, width, height, and then time is just another dimension in which basically imagine every single moment in time is like a plane of glass or a picture that you can pick out and look at. Every single moment is a picture of space in that time, and you can take it out and look at it physically. Imagine that. And all of these different pictures of time, of every time that does exist and every time that will exist, has existed, all of these different pictures are different points in time, and they all exist at the same time. And that you get into different theories of like alternate dimensions where you make a choice and then the reality, the dimension splits into the outcome that goes from that. I'm talking about. Did you hear everything I've been talking about?
No, dude.
So basically, time exists all at once. Okay. So the past and the present are all real as real as now. Mm. So imagine time. Every single moment in time is a picture, a slice of space. Okay. So imagine a picture book of all of the time that has been and all of the time that will be.
I'm sorry. I find it so funny how we went from getting my ass kicked to time is everything.
I had to entertain for a second, so I was just, spitballing off of something that I had.
I love it.
A thought on earlier. All the time that has existed and all of the time that will exist, all do exist currently.
Okay.
This is kind of where you get into like alternate dimension theory and things like that.
The multiverse.
The multiverse, exactly. And so so basically the 4 dimensions, space, time, or length, width, height, and then time,
Okay.
all exist at the same time. Just as how this exists, not necessarily how your laptop exists, but basically this exists in the past as well as in the future, but in different states. You know what I mean? And this is a lot more easy to understand if you get into like the spiritual aspect of it, actually, because your consciousness, I would say consciousness is almost timeless. It exists outside of time in almost a 5th dimension. I would say that, like, if we were to live outside of this dimension, in a dimension in which we could actually look at time physically in front of us as something that we could just, jump to different moments, consciousness would be the dimension in which we actually lived.
That's deep.
Thanks.
That's some Joe Rogan shit right there, bro.
It's pretty interesting. I've never done psychedelics. Just want to preface that. So like, this is not where that's coming from. I just think about different things that other people say who have done psychedelics, most likely.
Jesus. I mean, I do believe it. I feel like have you seen the movie Lucy?
Yeah.
Just like that. Like,
yeah.
What consciousness level was she on? Like, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, that was
the fact that she was able to go back in time and forward in time, like, that was true.
Yeah, dude. So, kind of how I think of, how God says we were created in His image.
Yeah,
I think His image is creation itself and consciousness. Because human beings, like, everything we do is create. All we do is create.
So you're saying that God is consciousness?
God is consciousness, not a physical form. God doesn't have a physical form necessarily. As far as I see it, you know what I'm saying?
Like, true.
Like,
the creator of time.
He can take on a physical form.
Consciousness that you create in your own time. You're the creator of His own time.
Yeah.
And then that's why He had to make a Jesus form to be human form.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. I like it.
Yeah. I think God is consciousness itself.
I see what you mean.
And we are all part of that consciousness. That's where the collective unconscious kind of comes from. Mm-hmm. That there's a subconscious that runs through all of us that is part of God Himself.
Right.
Or herself, however people want to talk about Him. I'm going to say Him because He's always been referred to as a Him.
Yeah.
And that's also why God is the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, that kind of thing. And then, so God is consciousness as far as I can tell. And that's also, like, He is the supreme creator because He can speak things into creation. We cannot do that.
Right.
I mean, we can in a sense, but we have to speak it and then make our actions follow it. We have to do that, whereas God can speak it and it exists, kind of thing.
Interesting.
That's kind of how it works on His end, as far as I understand it. But we have been created in His image in that we can still create in a very real sense. Like imagine going from Adam and Eve living in the garden where it's just leaves, plants, rocks, animals, and they have to build everything, to the point where we basically convinced rocks to think. That's what a computer is. Is it not?
Metals?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We took metals, we processed them in a lot of different ways, but we tricked a rock into thinking. That's kind of what a computer is.
I guess you can say
we
that.
tricked a rock into thinking.
Bro. You're on some other planet right now.
I just think about a lot of weird stuff.
No, I get a little lost in my consciousness.
Yeah, I get lost in my consciousness sometimes.
I'm a daydreamer for sure.
Yeah.
I sometimes, if I find a comfortable spot, I can just lay there and just go off in space in my own head.
Yeah. That's part of why I read books too, is to get more perspectives from which to think.
Books do take you places.
They take you places.
Thing for sure.
Yeah. I listened to Animal Farm again, because Animal Farm was in like high school, and I got really interested in understanding like socialism and things like that. And Obviously, Animal Farm is a caricature of socialism. But I got more into like Aldous Huxley. He wrote A Brave New World. Did you ever read that one?
Which one? Sorry.
A Brave New World.
No.
So, A Brave New World is written by Aldous Huxley, and it's the future. I think it's like 400 years in the future from where we are now, in which they have these different drugs. One of them they call soma. And so essentially, if you're experiencing any negative emotions, anxiety, depression, whatever, you can take that and you're just not going to feel, you're just going to be happy. They've essentially eliminated unhappiness, and they structured their entire society around eliminating discomfort, unhappiness, things like that.
Interesting.
And one of the ways they did it is they perfected breeding humans. And so they'll take an egg and force it to divide into like how twins develop. And they'll force it to divide. I think they got like up to 16,000 divisions. So they made 16,000 identical twins.
Wow.
And they supervise the entire, it's like the future of CRISPR, essentially, where they're supervising the entire thing, adding chemicals and certain things to spur or inhibit growth in certain ways to make them more developed into their roles that they will have in the future, when they grow into adults, kind of thing. So they have different levels. There's like epsilons, deltas, gammas, betas, and then alphas. Alphas are the top, of course, like intelligence-wise.
This is the book you read?
Yeah, this is the book.
That sounds good.
It's really interesting.
What is it called?
It's called A Brave New World. This was assigned reading in high school.
I've never got the only books I've got in high school were The Great Gatsby.
Got that one.
The Outsiders.
Haven't heard of it.
What? Such a great book.
I'll check it out.
The movie was pretty good too.
I'll check it out.
You never heard of Stay Golden, Pony Boy?
Nope.
Oh,
actually, it sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, but I have not heard of The Outsiders.
So The Great Gatsby, Outsiders. I heard about the Animal Farm one.
Yeah, Animal Farm was, I think it was like sophomore, junior year.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was talking about how, like, shit with the government too, right?
Yeah, it was basically a caricature of socialism, where the pigs took over and they were going to create this like socialist communist utopia, and so they did that. But then the pigs get into power, and the pigs, they act like people in power in socialist communist countries have acted thus far. Like, as far as we've seen, that's pretty much what happens. They get into power, they give themselves a bunch of privileges, and make everyone else do the work to support their lifestyles. That's basically what socialism ends up being, is the people in government have all the power, they have the money, they make the decisions. People that are not in government, they kind of just have to do what they're told.
Yeah.
That's basically what happens in socialist countries thus far. And they all had roles, and they were provided for enough to be able to survive the other animals, but the pigs got to live in the human's house because the pigs, they all went to war against the owners of the farm. Yeah. And then they started taking on the roles of the farm themselves, which is just a caricature of people revolting and building a socialist government. Yeah.
Just like I've seen the movie with Justin Timberlake and I think it's Emma Stone.
No.
The Timekeeper or something.
In Time? Where they have...
Yeah, the clock on their wrist.
Was that socialist? That might have been.
I feel like it because, like...
I didn't get socialism vibes from In Time.
Really? Because the way I saw it is, like, there was, like, rows, right? And each row and gate that you can pass is a certain type of class.
That's a little bit more like A Brave New World.
But, I mean, they weren't... The only way they were separated is because of their wealth.
Yeah.
So, once you got to the last gate... And you had to pay to get through each gate. So once you get to the last gate, like that's where all like the rich and wealthy and like the people that can live basically forever were in.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, I got more of a Robin Hood vibe.
Yes, absolutely.
Because he went to the richest area, stole from their bank, and just basically shared all the money or all the time with everyone.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I have seen that movie. I love that movie. It's a great one, but it's been a while since I've seen it. From if I remember correctly, basically they could arbitrarily just give everyone time, right?
And they can all live forever.
And they could all live forever. And so the end of the movie was him stealing this alpha key or whatever that allowed him to give everyone the time that they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really good movie. But Animal Farm is different. It's just basically, it was like 3 hours because I listen to all my books, so they're the length. I refer to them in hours just because that's what Audible does.
When I was trying to connect it, it was like how the rich were just in power and getting everything.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, you know,
and that's what happens in every society. That's not just socialism. Like we have that in our society.
Oh yeah.
But that's really just a function of human nature, really. The Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 principle. There's a Pareto distribution, which is that 20% of the wealth usually ends up, 80% of the wealth ends up in 20% of the people's hands, and vice versa. Obviously, the poor end up making up about 80% of the population. And that's just a function of human societies, as far as we can tell. We have not, like in every society that has ever existed, whether it was kings and queens and then the serfs that were essentially slaves providing for the king and queen and then the rest of the population kind of thing.
Right.
Whether it's, socialist classes where, Stalin or Venezuela, I think, was a socialist economy at one point. North Korea is a really, that's a dictatorship. But, all of these different various examples of government, there's not really a way to stop certain people, a certain small percentage of the population, from acquiring all the wealth. As far as we've seen, there's no way to stop that from happening, whether it's socialism, communism, whatever. Socialism and communism, they get really close to becoming dictatorships and usually end up becoming dictatorships because a small number of people have all of the power legally, and they do everything they can to protect that power. And then also to give themselves the best lives that they can possibly think of and do whatever they want at the expense of the people that they rule over. In our democratic republic, that's a lot harder to do. It's being done, but it's harder because they don't have necessarily absolute control, partly because we have guns and they're terrified that we will use them. And if it gets bad enough, we will use them. But yeah, because people will only take so much, like a people you rule over kind of thing. They'll only take so much. I don't think we're necessarily getting close to a violent revolution, a violent civil war, or anything like that, because I still believe in like our Constitution. I think there were some holes that allowed for the government as it is to evolve, where we have tons of different people in Congress that are making all kinds of money doing very little. I mean, if you've seen, like, we can trim a lot of fat off of our government as it is right now.
Yeah.
It's gotten really fat, bloated, and top heavy.
Have you noticed to put a portable bathroom for the government, it costs millions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's just gotten fat and bloated because they have to pay all of these different bureaucrats that are in the bureaucratic process to get something passed to build something.
Bro, how is it that they fucking have to pay? Like, I was watching a video. It was like Chew TV or something on like Facebook. There's like a small little clip. And they were asking the prison, like, how much did it cost to build this bathroom in the middle of, well, not in the middle, but like another bathroom in that one park in New York. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
It's like a famous park.
Central Park?
Central Park, yeah, sorry. It cost him like almost $1 million, dude. And I was just like, the guy's like, it's not even a big bathroom. It was like probably as big as this place here. And it was just like maybe just 3 urinals for men and 2 toilets.
I mean, I can see that in terms of material costs. And then you have to, the people that... $1
million though?
I don't know about $1 million. That sounds a lot. That sounds like a lot. But at the same time, a few $100,000 wouldn't be surprising at all. In terms of, like, if one person like you or me were to go and like if you could definitely do it for cheaper. But the way the government does it is they contract out to people that want to make money, and the people that, you write the contract and government work, prevailing wage, all of these different things in
Just
the
like with
construction
healthcare,
process. Yeah.
That's another bad. That's another fucking.
Healthcare is even worse. Like construction, things get done extremely slowly with the government. People that like in the private sector, construction gets done way faster. It's so quick. But with government jobs, you can have something that's scheduled out 6 years in advance, and then the government's also pretty lenient with deadlines. And so, like, a job could take 2 years, and the government doesn't care because they got other stuff to worry about. Is it getting done? Great. They don't care. They're not going to really make sure it's happening like that quick unless they send an auditor out there. I mean, and for the most part, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's just wild. I find it funny how they just charge you up the ass for any little thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Crutches, bro, fucking probably $800. You can get them for $20 at the store.
I got a bill for crutches when I broke my ankle for like $42, I think, is how much it was. Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Which is stupid.
I mean, with everything added up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I could see it costing way more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just everything put together on one visit. Like, oh, we give you this, we give you this, we give you this. Okay, that's $1,200.
Yeah, the medical industry, they charge you a lot.
I just came in here for salt and water, bro.
I needed saline solution. That's it.
Jesus, bro. $1,200?
No, it's
crazy. I'm not giving any medical advice here. I'm not saying what's true or not what's true. I'm just simply saying that I've heard from the grapevine that supposedly you can use animal saline for your own self. It's the same thing.
Probably.
But you can't buy, you can buy animal saline, but you can't buy human saline. I don't know. Some shit like that.
It doesn't surprise me at all because blood is blood. Like, I mean, obviously there's blood types, but blood needs certain things, and salt water, that's what saline solution is.
Yeah, that's
correct?
What it
It's
is,
salt water.
I think it's like 0. No, it's like 9 or something, 9%.
Probably make saline solution for yourself.
0.9%. So yeah,
you could probably make saline for yourself.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Google it.
Fucking Pedialyte.
No,
I'm just playing. Don't do that.
Yeah, you could probably just Google it.
Oh yeah.
There's everything that's on Google, dude.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Because I know it's something like boiled water or something and sodium solution.
Yeah, distill it with sodium, and then that's saline solution. I mean, we had to have figured this out somehow at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Where it was done the same way.
Exactly. Yeah. What were we talking about before? We were talking about time.
We
talked
about
about a lot of stuff. We were talking about books time.
And the one with the little kids, Lord of the Flies.
Oh yeah, I read that
was
one.
another one.
I have read that one. I didn't read that one recently, but yeah, the books that I did read recently, like at the beginning of the year, I read 1984 by George Orwell. That's one you should really read. That one's crazy. If you're at all interested in how people are getting canceled, and in the mainstream media, certain words are like, you just can't say certain words on Twitter or things like that, even though it's like, but it's just true. That's what the word is, or stuff like that. In 1984, they have this idea called doublespeak. Not doublespeak.
Is that the one you're saying?
Yeah.
Just the one?
Yeah. But what was it? It was, goodness gracious, I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't doublespeak, but basically it was where they basically invented and dumbed down the language as much as possible. And there was, man, I need to read it again because I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. A Brave New World is pretty fresh because I finished it last week. But yeah, so in A Brave New World, actually, that's where you kind of get into comfort and how comfort has destroyed us in a lot of ways. Brave New World, like I said, they created that drug called Soma, where everything is like, if you're sad for any reason, you just take that and you're good, you're chilling. They had this thing. they would say basically everyone belongs to everyone. And so if you wanted to sleep with someone, you just like, hey, let's hook up, and everyone belongs to everyone. So all the women were sleeping with all kinds of different men and men with all kinds of women. And it was just like, that was just part of their culture. There was no such thing as mother and father because everyone was an IVF baby essentially, because they were created to be either epsilons, alphas, like, so those different hierarchies were also, they were genetically built in because they were genetically engineering people. And then also there were mental differences to make them happier in their job. Basically, they managed IQ of the people they were creating to put them in certain job positions. And, you know, they just lived like that kind of thing. There was so much less free will. Your life was essentially decided for you before you were born in A Brave New World. And
that kind of sounds like have you seen the new Resident Evil?
No.
On Netflix? There was like a Resident Evil show. It was going on for a little bit. I don't know if it's still on, but they were doing the same thing. They were trying to create this pill that basically enhanced them to have better emotions, better like mood, make them look younger, feel younger, all that stuff. And then there was another movie with Chris Hemsworth and the guy from 21 and Over.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one.
He's the guy from Top Gun, the younger dude.
Oh, yeah.
What's his
No,
name?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
But it was Chris Hemsworth and him.
Chris Hemsworth?
Was it? Is it Hemsworth?
I'm pretty sure it's Hemsworth. Oh, okay. The one that played Thor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hemsworth.
Okay,
Chris Hemsworth.
Dude, I don't know these guys. I'm not their friends. I know them by their first names.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No.
I know them by their characters.
Yeah.
Thor and
it's Thor and the guy from Top Gun.
Exactly.
Well, they were in the movie, and then I guess the same thing. There was this chip that they had in them, and then it will release liquids into their like bloodstream and everything, basically changing their emotion. Like, let's say it was like a girl, like you were saying, and they hated each other. They hated each other's guts. But once this liquid is released in their body, they start feeling emotion towards each other. Like, they start like actually feeling horny and feeling like attracted to them. Like, oh yeah,
what the hell?
Pretty. And then eventually they just make a mate. And then
interesting.
And like they release all, like when it comes to like mating, they release all the liquid to the point where like the girl is like super deep into him. Like this is this is something she's always wanted, type of like emotional feel for him and the girl. So it's like the best sex they ever had. And then they turn off the liquid from being released, and they go back to their normal state.
Where they hated each other?
And then they're like, I fucking hate you. I can't believe we just did that. And they start crying. Because
sounds like a very abusive relationship.
It's not, yeah. It was
that
just
sounds like an emotionally abusive relationship.
It was, so the guy tried to do it, like, you know, Thor tried to make it all like professional by getting the consent and everything, but it was just wrong. What the hell? It was just wrong.
This is weird.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
I might watch it.
I'll send it to you once I find it.
Actually, Brave New World actually has a TV show.
I saw that when I was looking up the book.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
I have no idea. No, it's on Peacock, I think is what it's on.
I actually have an account.
And then, yeah, I haven't seen it. I want to watch it after reading Brave New World again. But yeah, so Brave New World, everything is easy. Like, there's nothing that you really have to worry about. Your life is kind of decided for you. And then they have savage reservations, where it's basically a Native American reservation, where that's how it is in the book, where basically it's just like regular people, Native Americans, living their lives as Native Americans did. And there's this one guy that was born. So basically his mom went to the reservation. She got stuck there. Like, she like went on a walk in the middle of the night, got stuck there, and wasn't able to go back with the guy that she went there to, because they would go as a tourist trip kind of thing. And she didn't end up making it back. So she ended up having that guy's kid, and his name was John the Savage. And the whole book is mostly about John the Savage learning about the Brave New World from the perspective of someone that grew up in regular human life with a mom. He didn't have a dad, of course, but his mom was also like really bought into the way that they did it in the Brave New World. And yeah, it was a very interesting book. I won't spoil the ending, even though most people probably know how it ended, but it's a really, really good book, really worth reading and looking into and comparing to today's society and how everything is easy. And there's nothing difficult or challenging. And it was extremely emotionally distressing to John that, because he basically, there comes to a point in the book where he's talking with the president of London, I think is where it took place. And they're talking about because the president was like basically a fully functioning, like normal human, didn't have anything holding him back. He was an alpha, where an alpha also is like you or me, where we're born, not necessarily born normally, but we don't have anything put into our IVF bottle to make us dumber. We're like the full potential human being, essentially. Okay. Everything below that is someone that has been held back in some way so that they could do their job, kind of thing. And so, you know, John also, the savage, he grew up with Shakespeare, reading Shakespeare. He learned how to read from his mom and somehow got a hand of a book, Shakespeare. And so he learned to read that and read all of those. And he ended up talking to the president of the entire country. And they got to a point where he was like, the president said, "So you want the right to be unhappy?" Because no one really had the right to be unhappy. If you were unhappy, that was wrong. Mm-hmm. And like literally their police force, if something was happening and there was like a huge event, which there was in the book, they came in and they gassed the room with Soma, this drug that made everyone just chill and happy. And, you know, with enough of it, you kind of pass out into really nice, pleasant dreams, basically. It was a really interesting book.
That is interesting.
It's worth reading and comparing to modern society, how we all just kind of do that to ourselves in a lot of ways, self-medicate with all kinds of different stuff. Oh, yeah. Listening to it, I was like, man, we should really be careful with all of the psychedelics research that we're doing. Yeah. Because we could definitely, I could see us developing Soma through like psychedelics. Because people microdose psychedelics to get similar effects.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, you know, whatever we're taking, any type of medication that we take to alter our consciousness or emotions or whatever, it's not okay.
Yeah, no.
Because that's not natural. It's not normal.
No, not at all. And part of like what we were saying before about challenge and overcoming challenge is to learn how to handle those emotions and those things that are really hard for us so that we don't need those extra things to keep us happy. We don't need to rely on an outside source to be fully actualized, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And to be okay, to function.
So you were trying to say is that once we come in contact or connect with ourselves again, we'll be able to accomplish or overcome those
absolutely
certain things that we're using to get medicated with.
Yeah, I think a lot of medications and a lot of self-medicating, especially self-medicating, is done to hide the things that we need to get on top of from ourselves. Like we're using weed, we're using alcohol, we're using all of these things to hide from our problems. Obviously everyone kind of understands that to a degree. And it's talked about in songs, all of that, but like that is so much more detrimental to you as a person and to you fully becoming what you're capable of. It's so detrimental to who you are. Like Socrates, I think it was Socrates, had the quote of, "It is a shame for a man to go throughout his whole life without seeing the full potential of which his body and mind are capable."
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Socrates.
Should I look it up?
It was either Plato or Socrates. But I took that seriously, and that's kind of where I'm going, and I'm trying to get there. I don't think I'm fully there yet, but I'm working on it. And I think it's something that everyone should do. Everyone should try and actualize their greatest potential?
That was Socrates.
Sick.
It says, "It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. I desire only to know the truth and to live as well as I can, and to the uttermost of my power. I exhort all other men to do the same." That is good.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think that's a good place to leave off.
Yeah, I think that was good.
Leave off with that beautiful Socrates quote.
That's good.
Meditate on that, guys. That's going to be it's going to help you. It's going to help you in life.
Really involve you.
Yeah.
Strive for basically what he's saying is just strive for your best. Strive to become something greater, something
become the best version of yourself that you can think of. And one of the best ways to do that is to not compare yourself to who other people are today, but to who you were yesterday. Because nobody is you and you are nobody else.
And it's like wow, like, so when you get to the finish line, which is the finish line of life, which is when you finally go to rest forever and ever, it's like, damn, I really went hard in life.
Yeah.
Damn, I really went hard in school, or damn, I really went hard. Like, I really, really proved myself to who I really am, like what potential I can achieve. I really went hard. You want to finish life hard, at least that's how I believe. You want to give it all out, because after this is, no one knows what's after this.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
don't
the beauty about, death. You don't know.
You don't know what's going on. And so you don't want to be on your deathbed looking back like, man, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have actually done it, because now I really can't. Like, right now, if you're listening to this, you probably can do whatever it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm. You probably can achieve those things that you want to achieve. But when you're on your deathbed, you sure as hell can't.
Yeah, because, think about it. How many times have you been to, like, in some thoughts, I'm like, damn, bro, I should have done this when I was younger. Or, damn, I wish I would have done this when I was, like, thinking about it in the first place. Or,
bro, I had a tiny bit of a dose of that when I turned 18. I was like, damn, if I ever get in a fight, I could go to jail. Mm-hmm. So now I really can't get in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, not that I want to get in a fight, but it would have been nice to, like, have a very real idea of what I was capable of in a situation if I needed to. But now, if I want to fight, I have to go pay someone to teach me how to fight and learn how to box. Yeah. To do it legally, at least. And I'm not trying to do it illegally. Because you can just go out and fight someone. You could do that. But there are consequences.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a kid anymore.
I'm not a kid anymore. There are consequences to my actions.
So that's a lot of reasons why I don't like getting too rowdy with people. I would just kind of ignore them. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, your story was when you were 20, right?
Yeah, when I was 20. Yeah. This guy was probably like 25 or something. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I was like, damn, bro. Like,
yeah.
You can fucking go to jail right now.
I'm not trying to do all that.
No, thank you. I'm not about that. But right. We left off with that quote. Yep. Try to reach your highest potential. You guys, I know you guys can. And then I'm telling you guys to go accomplish those goals.
Absolutely.
Go smash them.
Strive for more every day.
Yep. That's what it is. Pushing yourself at the gym. You want to start your podcast, start it. You want to start your streaming, stream it. You want to start doing blogs, do vlogs. Mm-hmm. You want to start building your car, posting pictures on Instagrams about your car, do it. Mm-hmm. And it's possibility, my guy.
Absolutely.
And then you just gotta find what works with you. Make time. Make an hour or two from your time. I know some people get tired, whatever, but you really want to work for someone for the rest of your life? Or you at least want to die knowing that you try to fight for yourself?
I would much rather have that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Catch you next week. Deuces.